Hello mga kababayan ko, kumusta po kayong lahat? Sana nasa mabuti kayong kalagayan. Ito po si Nurse Kaloy, magbibigay po sa inyo ng isang magandang balita. Ayon po sa ating Philippine Travel Advisory, there will be no more ban for other countries na papasok sa Philippines. And isa pa, kung dati 72 hours ang PCR test before your departure to Philippines, ay 48 hours na lang po. Yun po ang good news. Okay, meron pa rin ho yung categories ng yellow, green at red list countries at may kanya-kanya silang guidelines. Stay with me para i-discuss po natin kung ano yung mga requirements and guidelines na po yun. Okay, let's start with green lists. Ito po yung kanilang guidelines. For fully vaccinated, kailangan po negative RT-PCR kayo 48 hours before your departure. And the good news again there is wala na kayo facility-based quarantine. Wala na pong hotel quarantine na yan. Hayaan nyo silang malugi. Okay, however, kailangan nyong mag-self-monitor ng 7 days. Okay? Self-monitor po. Okay, for those who are unvaccinated na nasa green list at yung mga partial vaccinated, yung mga unvalidated vaccination records, kailangan po negative din ang PCR nila 48 hours before the flight, and upon arrival, mag-quarantine po sila ng 5 days, and on the 5th day, RT-PCR naman po uli kayo, and then once it's negative, pwede na po kayo umuwi and mag-self-quarantine for 14 days. Okay po? May question kayo mamaya, magbigay lang po kayo ng komento. Ito po ang list of green list countries. As you can see, starting from January 16 to 31, countries are Pakistan, Bangladesh, India, Japan, Hong Kong, and the rest, as you can see on the screen. The lists of green countries. Okay, let's go to yellow list guidelines. Excuse me po. Same thing. Fully vaccinated, 48 hours before departure, and then quarantine upon arrival for 5 days, and on the 5th day, once it's negative, pwede rin po kayong umuwi. However, meron kayong 14 days quarantine till 7 days. Home quarantine po yan. Hindi kayo pwede lumabas. And for those unvaccinated, negative PCR 48 hours before departure, and then upon arrival, mag-quarantine po kayo ng 7 days. Gets niyo po? 7 days for those unvaccinated. And once it's negative, pwede kayong umuwi sa bahay and do a home quarantine until 14 days po. Okay, ang yellow country list, ibig sabihin po, are those countries that are not included sa green list at saka sa red list. Those are considered yellow countries. Okay po? Okay, now we go to the red list countries. As the travel advisory said, wala nang ban. Unlike before, once you're on the red list countries, you are banned to come to Philippines. But now, pwede na po silang umuwi. Yun po ang kagandahan nun. However, medyo may kahabaan po kanilang mga quarantine period at may mga restrictions po. Okay, for those fully vaccinated coming from red list countries, needs to have negative PCR test 48 hours before the flight, and then mag-quarantine po sila ng 7 days, and on the 7th day, kailangan nilang mag-RT-PCR again. Once it's negative, pwede ko silang umuwi and have to do home quarantine for 14 days. Wala akong lalabas. For those unvaccinated under red list, Negative PCR po before departure within 48 hours. And then upon arrival, mag-quarantine po kayo ng 10 araw, 10 days. And on the 7th day, gagawa kayo ng RT-PCR. And then once it's negative, you can go home and do a home quarantine till 14 days. Okay? Maliwanag po. Kung may tanong kayo, mamaya ilagay niyo pa sa komento. Now, here are the list of red countries. They are Antigua, Puerto Rico, and as I've mentioned, USA, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and Canada, and the rest on the list. Sila po yung nasa red list. Ibig sabihin na nasa red list, mataas ho ang COVID cases sa kanilang mga bansa. Kaya medyo ingat-ingat po pag sila nakauwi sa Pilipinas. Sa kanilang mga mahal sa buhay, medyo wear mask, still keep distance, and hand sanitizing para hindi tayo magkahawawaan. Remember, naggaling ho sila sa red list, ibig sabihin maraming kaso ng COVID sa kanilang pinanggalingan. Yun lang po, at kung meron kayong katanungan, ilagay nyo sa komento mamaya. And an important note po, sa travel advisory, it says, Philippines still not open for foreigners with tourist visas. And for few foreigners allowed to Philippines, they have to have a full vaccination, of course, except for minors, and for those persons who cannot take COVID-19 vaccination due to health reason as certified by their physicians. And of course, yung mga diplomats po, exempted po yan sa vaccination. Okay po? Kung meron kayong question, just put down your comments and we'll try to solve it. At maraming salamat sa inyong support at panunod sa ating video. Nurse Kaloy po. Magandang gabi. Bye-bye.